Here's what 63% of Americans won't tell you. They can't even cover a $1,000 emergency, let alone dream of $1 million. But the financial relief you crave isn't in winning the lottery or chasing six figures. It's in something proven by science. Your first $10,000 in savings. Picture this. Neuroscientists have shown that amassing $10,000 drops anxiety faster than any pay raise. It's the difference between dreading disaster at midnight and finally sleeping soundly. On Jim Invests, I'll walk you through exactly why $10,000 is not just a number, but your psychological turning point, with real stories, proven steps, and free tools to help you cross that line, no matter your income. Ready? Let's change your financial future starting tonight. If you've ever lain awake at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling, calculating how you'd cover a surprise car repair, an urgent vet visit, or just the next week's groceries, you're not alone. The American Psychological Association found that 90% of Americans say money stress keeps them up at night. But the game changer isn't making $1 million. It's that first $10,000 safely stashed away. If that milestone feels out of reach, or you're stuck in the trenches of paycheck-to-paycheck life, this video is for you. My name is Jim. I run Jim Invests, and I spend way too much time thinking about real-life money psychology and why some people break the cycle and most don't. If you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the frameworks, tools, and real stories I share every week. Now, before I reveal what happens when you finally see $10,000 in your savings account, backed by science, by the way, let's zoom in on daily reality without it. Have you ever stood at the grocery store deciding between name brand cereal or that cheaper, barely flavored cardboard just to keep your account above zero? Or felt your heart sink when a friend invites you out to dinner, not because you don't want to go, but because an extra $25 upends your entire week's budget? This is what it's like for nearly 2 in 3 Americans living without a safety net. A world where every unplanned expense feels like a looming disaster. You're always playing defense, never able to relax enough to plan your next move. And worst, you can't even begin investing in your future because you're just trying to survive today. Jessica, one of my community members and a 27-year-old nurse in Ohio, knows this story all too well. She started her career with just $3,000 in student debt and a car that, by her own words, lived at the mechanic every spring. Every check engine light sent her spinning. She'd panic, losing sleep over whether she'd need to pull out the credit card again, or worse, ask her parents for help. After 18 months of strict meal planning and saying yes to every hospital shift, Jessica crossed a line she never thought possible. She opened her banking app and saw $10,037. Suddenly, when her car gave up next time, she calmly paid the $950 repair bill, told her friends about it, and actually slept through the night. But here's the twist. That $10,000 didn't just cover disasters. Within weeks, Jessica used some savings to sign up for a weekend pediatric care class. Once unthinkable. Less than a year later, she landed a role in that specialty and a pay raise big enough to start planning her next milestone. Remember, past results do not guarantee future outcomes. You still have to take action. So, why does $10,000 matter in a way that $1,000 doesn't? Let's talk science for a minute. Dr. Sarah Newcomb from Morningstar says, there's a critical tipping point in our anxiety curve right at $10,000. Above that, financial stress drops like a rock. That's because a 5-figure cushion activates your brain's safety systems. Cortisol levels drop, so you literally feel calmer, more creative, and more willing to say yes to opportunity, not just no to danger. Let's get real for a second. If your car needs a surprise repair, living paycheck to paycheck means that single warning light is a genuine crisis. But when you got an emergency fund, it's just another Tuesday inconvenience. Maybe annoying, but no more panic, no more racking up credit card debt, and no more waking your partner at 2 a.m. to panic out loud. Another member of our Jim Invests audience, Marcus, a 35-year-old graphic designer from Tennessee, struggled with $8,500 of old medical debt and 2 kids at home. For years, the fear of a surprise bill kept him working weekends and saying no to everything fun. But by setting up $50 transfers every week, even when it hurt, he built his $10,000 emergency fund in just over 2 years. When his son needed urgent dental surgery, Marcus just paid the bill and felt fear leave his body for the first time in years. This emotional relief led him back to volunteering, reconnecting with his community, something he had put aside to always work an extra job. Again, not a guarantee, but a real-life illustration. Let's pause. I want to hear from you. Comment below. What's the first big thing you'd finally do if you had $10,000 in savings? Maybe it's take a trip, quit a toxic job, invest in your own education, or just sleep better at night. Drop your answer below. I'll highlight the best responses in the next video. Now, why is this so powerful? Because most of the benefit isn't from spending the money. It's from knowing the money is there. Behavioral economists call it the emergency fund effect. The security changes how you interact with life. The Center for Financial Services Innovation found that people with a savings buffer report 40% lower daily stress on average and are twice as likely to make proactive decisions, like moving to a better job or city, without as much fear. The ripple effects are enormous. When you have money in the bank, you negotiate better. You're willing to walk away from a bad deal, stand up for yourself at work, or say yes to productive risks. You're not desperate, so your brain stops feeling desperate. This often snowballs into better job opportunities, better relationships, and a kind of confidence that's hard to quantify, but easy to recognize in yourself and others. If you're listening to this and thinking $10,000 is completely out of reach, especially if you're struggling to save even $100 a month, I get it. And here's where the psychology comes in. The hardest part isn't the actual saving. It's building the identity of someone who saves. Most people treat saving money like a crash diet, cutting every expense for a few months, burning out, and then returning to old habits. But real savers, they build tiny automatic habits, tracking and celebrating every win. The real secret is identity. When you see yourself as a saver, your brain starts to seek out money-saving opportunities, creative income ideas, and long-term wins, not just day-to-day survival. And the magic? It gets easier. That first $1,000 feels like a brutal climb. The second $1,000 comes faster because your habits start compounding. By $5,000 or $6,000, your savings routine almost runs on autopilot. Let me show you with another story. Eli, a 24-year-old software developer from New Jersey. He started with just $500 to his name after paying rent each month, often skipping meals to make rent. Eli didn't wait for a magic raise. He built a spreadsheet, tracked every dollar, and funneled each freelance gig, no matter how tiny, into a high-yield savings account. 16 months later, he saw that $10,000 and realized he hadn't had a single nightmare about missing rent in weeks. The biggest change? He finally had the guts to apply for a new Joe B. Within 2 months, he landed a role paying 20% more. Again, past results don't guarantee future success, but the story is real. Now, you might be curious. How can $10,000 be so transformational? Here's the math. The vast majority of financial disasters are covered by $10,000. According to Bankrate, unexpected car repairs usually cost $500 to $3,000, and medical emergencies typically land below $6,000. Even a sudden job loss? For most Americans, $10,000 buys 3 to 6 months of expenses, enough time to look for a job without taking the first offer out of desperation. Let's do a quick exercise. Think about your absolute minimum monthly bills: rent, groceries, phone, insurance, and bare-bones transport. For most, somewhere between $1,500 and $3,200 a month. If you save $10,000, you get 3 to 6 months of breathing room. That time is the difference between panic decision-making and choosing the right long-term opportunity. But here's the part most people overlook. When you're not in permanent survival mode, it frees up your brain for bigger goals. Harvard Business Review reports that financial stress saps up to 13 IQ points worth of focus per day. Just by reducing stress, you make better choices, are more productive, and spot more opportunity in your career, investments, and life. Let's loop back. Once you hit $10,000, you unlock a mindset that lets you actually think about investing for the future. Instead of always worrying about next week's bills, you start Googling 401ks, Roth IRAs, or even stocks. That's why so many people with just a little savings start to build real wealth, because they finally have the mental real estate to think years ahead, not just days. Here's something wild. Someone saving $10,000, making $40,000 a year, is closer to true financial independence than another making $80,000 but spending every cent. The ultimate skill isn't making money. It's keeping it. You probably know high earners who are always broke, living large but with zero in the bank. Intentional, habit-driven savers win every time. Let's shift gears for a minute. If your annual income is below $30,000 or is highly unpredictable, I want you to know this framework still works. You don't have to save $10,000 in 6 months or even a year. Focus on your first $2,000. Then $4,000. You can adjust the steps. Maybe you start with automating just $10 a week, or your side hustle is digital micro tasks. Progress might be slower, but the psychological benefit begins with even $1,000 saved. Celebrate every $500 milestone. These early victories will keep you climbing. And if you want an income-adapted tracker, download the free budget sheet below. It auto-adjusts targets based on what you make. Comment if you want more tips for ultra-low income or variable income savings. We feature your questions in each video. So what exactly does $10,000 do for you? Practically. 1. Car repairs? Handled. 2. Medical bills? Stressful but manageable. 3. Job loss? You've bought months of breathing room. More importantly, it lets you spot opportunity instead of only preparing for disaster. Maybe it's a course that costs $2,000 but offers a $10,000 salary bump. With savings, you can make that investment. And don't forget the most important shift. You start believing you can do even bigger things. Momentum builds. Once you've got $10,000, the path to $20K and beyond comes into focus because you trust your system. Ready for the exact steps? Stay tuned. Step 4 is where most people slip up, and it can cost months of progress. But before the how-to, quick reminder, this content is for educational purposes only and should not be considered personalized financial advice. Results will vary by situation and income level. Always consult a qualified professional for personal finance decisions. Now, let's break into the proven 5-step system to saving your first $10,000 with tools you can literally start today. Step 1. Automate your savings immediately. Set up an automatic transfer. Doesn't matter if it's $50, $100, or even $10 from your checking to a high-yield online savings account the exact day your paycheck arrives. I recommend Ally, Capital One 360, or Marcus. No, they're not sponsors. The key is making saving automatic and non-negotiable today. Not when you have a little extra. Within 30 days, you'll see that first boost in your balance, and saving will stop feeling optional. Want a shortcut? Download my free savings tracker below, the same one Jessica and Marcus used to set up your auto transfer and visualize progress. Links in the description. Step 2. Track every dollar for 30 days. Download a free budgeting app. Try YNAB, Mint, or the tracker I've linked. For a single month, log every expense without guilt. This isn't about judgment. It's about brutal clarity. By day 30, nearly everyone catches $100 to $200 in leaks, old subscriptions, impulse buys, extra takeout. Cancel or patch the leaks and instantly divert that cash to your $10,000 fund. It works. Bankrate's 2024 data shows the average American can free up $250 monthly just by tracking spending. Step 3. Trigger a 60-day earning sprint. This is temporary, so go all in. Pick one side hustle for just 2 months. Uber, DoorDash, dog walking, or online micro gigs like Upwork or Mechanical Turk. Funnel every extra cent, tip money, birthday cash, even found coins straight into your fund. Most people surprise themselves with $500 to $1,000 extra in 2 months. This sprint resets your brain, reprioritizing income and revealing how much you can accelerate savings when you get creative. If 2 jobs isn't possible, don't stress. Do what fits your energy and health. Even selling unused gadgets or freelance work online stacks up fast. Share your best hustle idea in the comments. Our next video will feature the most creative solutions from this community. Step 4. 14-day no-spend challenge. Pick 2 weeks and spend only on essentials. Rent, food, utilities, transport. No eating out, no new clothes, no bar tabs. Share your challenge on social for accountability. Or buddy up with a friend. You'll be shocked how many must-haves are really could-do-withouts. On average, my audience members save $200 to $400 in just 14 days on this challenge alone. That's a rocket boost to your $10,000 goal. Remember, step 4 is where most people falter. They give in to lifestyle creep. Stick with IT and watch your results multiply. Step 5. Negotiate and lower your fixed expenses. Devote one afternoon to calling your internet, insurance, and phone companies. Ask for a better rate. Many now offer digital chat help if phone calls raise your anxiety. Use apps like Trim to scan for overcharges and cancel unused subscriptions. Even a single successful negotiation can save you $50 to $150 per month. That's $600 to $1,800 a year. Crucial momentum for hitting 5 figures. It isn't glamorous, but it works. If you want help with any step, grab the free downloadable spreadsheet, a copy of the one used by Jessica and Marcus with all 5 steps mapped out. Links below. Quick recap, because I want you to leave with a plan, not just motivation. 1. Automate your savings today, even if it feels small. 2. Track every cent for a month. Plug the leaks. 3. Do a focused hustle sprint. 60 days. All surplus goes to your goal. 4. Survive and journal a 2-week no-spend challenge. 5. Lower your recurring fixed bills and redirect savings. And for those earning less or with unpredictable income, repeat the steps at your own pace. Your first 1K or 2K is just as important as 10K. Focus on the skill and habit, not the timeline. Screenshot this framework or grab the downloadable below. It's yours, free, no email required. I want to know, what's your toughest step? Automatic savings, side hustling, or tracking spending? Drop your struggle or victory in the comments. We'll feature the strongest 10K stories next episode. Your journey could motivate thousands others in our Jim Invests community. And remember, the biggest prize isn't just a stack of bills. It's proof that you can do hard things. The person you become on the journey to your first $10,000 is more valuable than the money itself. Every month you wait is another month locked into financial stress. Start now, and a year from now, you'll thank yourself. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to Jim Invests for more practical money strategies. Hit that thumbs up and share with anyone you know who's trapped in financial anxiety. Let's make $10,000 the new milestone for real freedom. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to download your free savings template below. And as always, this content is educational and not personalized financial advice. Consult a qualified professional before making financial decisions. And remember that results always vary with your unique situation.